Halloween, my favorite holiday season of the year. It's a time where families go trick-or-treating, neighborhood houses are lit up, classic horror films come out for their annual viewing, and women are dressed up like red light district hookers.
Good. Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur.
Call me a misogynist, many have, but I'm speaking the truth here. But this year, the typical Halloween formula was shook up a bit, with episode 2 of Welcome to Derry releasing 2 days early, for all of us lovers of all things spooky to enjoy on the spookiest of days. The question is, were some of the issues from episode 1 course corrected, or is the show on a downhill trajectory? Well, it's a little bit of both. Welcome to Derry, episode 2. Let's talk about it. Right off the rip, I want to bring up something that I mentioned in my last week's episode breakdown, and that the scares surrounding the kids felt cheap and contrived, trading in visceral suspense the series is known for outright shock value. I don't know what the fuck this mutant baby bat thing is.
What the hell is even that?
This week's episode has scares that felt like they belonged in the It universe, with one happening to our main character, Lily, that preyed on her insecurities surrounding the death of her father. As she's navigating the local supermarket, its shelves seemingly closing in on her, creating a never-ending labyrinth, she ends up enclosed entirely by rows and rows of pickles. Her father appears to her within them, eventually leading to all the jars crashing onto the floor, each one holding a particular body part of her dead parent, which culminates on top of her before she comes back to reality, realizing that none of it is real.
Right.
Yeah, if you try to describe that scene to someone who's not familiar with it, that's probably going to be the reaction. Which, by the way, if you're new around here, we promote and encourage civil discussion on the channel. So listen to what I have to say, watch the whole video so you have all the context, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's if you agree or disagree. We welcome both. I also don't believe in holding or deleting comments, and I respond to everyone in due time. Just attack opinions, not people. Anyway, so the second scare was done pretty damn well too, with it appearing to Ronnie in the form of her mother, who, come to find out, died while giving birth to her. Jesus, mother loving Christ, what is it with these kids and their parents dying? Like, we get it already. Golly. One night removed from the stupid mutant baby thing killing 3 kids I didn't give a shit about, it torments Ronnie by having her fight her way out of her bed turned bloody embryo, a grotesque version of her mother's face at the head of it, and what appears to be her poo-nanner trying to eat her.
What? What the fuck?
Kinda reminded me of that one film, Teeth, which if you haven't seen it, thank fuck, especially if you're a guy, because just,
Oh! Ew!
So the scares are there. What could you possibly want to bitch about now, Toller? Well, allow me to illuminate you internal dialogue that sometimes escapes out into the real world. The story outside of the horror is stupid as fuck.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
For whatever reason, racial tension has infiltrated every aspect of the show in some way or another. And before someone jumps down my throat, and not in a good way, saying, actually, Toller Talks, this is the 1960s, which was a time of deep racial tension, it makes sense here. You're right, it does. But so did homophobia and the insecurities that came with being gay during the events of It Chapter 1 in 1989 and It Chapter 2 in 2016. We see that play out through Richie's flashbacks and his love for Eddie, and then there's a scene at the Derry Carnival where a gay couple, Don and Adrian, are harassed and assaulted by a group of shitheads, eventually leading to Pennywise's abduction of Adrian. Those scenes were short, but they were raw. They perfectly depicted the social attitude towards gays and offered some acceptable modern representation. Yeah, I know Richie isn't explicitly gay in the books, but if you're gonna add that into the films, I think they did it in a reasonable way. Welcome to Derry, though. Not 10 minutes goes by where there's not some form of racial tension going on, and some of it doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like the black theater owner, aka Hatchet Hank, being blamed for the 3 kids that got murdered at his theater? Yeah, perfectly reasonable. I mean, kinda. Sure, the cops are absolute bellends and shouldn't be harassing him in the first place, but if there was anyone to do that to, it would be the guy who runs the place where the murders happened. And they were doing it for that reason, not because he's black, which is what the episode wants us to think. Who else are they gonna blame? The two teenage girls? Come the fuck on.
Really?
Or how about Will Hanlon, who I actually like as a character because his actor is pretty damn good, which is more than I can say for others. Ronnie. He attends his first day of school, and just like any new kid, he's bullied into oblivion. But the show frames it in a way that only uppity white kids are the one doing it. And later on, the only friend he's able to make is a Hispanic kid named Rich.
Coincidence? I think not!
Then there's the Major Hanlon storyline, which I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. There's been many events tied to it in the books and films, like the Black Spot nightclub fire, the Bradley Gang shootout, and the Ironworks explosion, but instead of using any of those to build off of, we're seeing the US military try to dig up what I think is its stronghold, using two black airmen to help them get closer because their brains are fucked up and can't process fear correctly, or just something.
You serious?
Just an FYI, but if you had a brain injury that traumatic happened while in the line of duty, you'd be medically separated from service. Just saying. Anyways, so yeah, Major Hanlon and this other guy, I can't remember his name, both coincidentally black men, imagine that, have super secret bullshit powers that allow them to be close to it without being influenced by the fear it creates.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
And the military is using that to get to a stronghold because there's a weapon down there that could keep the Russians and what the hell? Yeah, there's a weapon down there that could keep the Russians and Cubans from bombing the US. If that sounds stupid, that's because it is.
Are you retarded?
But all in all, this episode was at least better than the last. I mean, it's not saying much, but still. The story is still god-forbiddingly dumb as fuck, and they're beating us over the head with all this racial injustice nonsense, but at least there's good scares and moments of genuine tension that feel natural instead of forced like they did in episode 1. I don't love it, I don't hate it, but Welcome to Derry is at least keeping me interested, and that's more than I can say for the last 2 pieces of shit I watched. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking out my review. I'll talk to y'all later.